Britain's Sikh community marched through the capital yesterday to mark the deaths of tens of thousands of people killed in India during massacres in 1984. The current Indian Home Minister has now declared the events in June and November that year as a genocide. Well, joining us is Dabinderjit Singh from the Sikh Federation. Thank you for coming in. Just talk a little bit about the background to what happened in 1984. This was something called Operation Blue Star.
That's right. What happened actually in June 1984 was, it was almost unprecedented, that the Indian army went into the Sikhs' holiest of holy places, often referred to as the Golden Temple. People of all faiths go there. David Cameron was there no longer than sort of 15 months ago. And the sanctity of the place was broken by tanks, helicopter gunships, and there were thousands of pilgrims there at the time because it was one of the most important days in the calendar. So we never know how many people died. 10,000 pairs of shoes were left, which implied there were a lot of pilgrims there. And what we also had at the same time was that the whole of the Punjab, where the Sikhs largely lived, was sealed. The media were expelled, and Operation Blue Star wasn't just targeting the Golden Temple. A number of historic Gurdwara Sikh temples around Punjab were also assaulted at the same time. And there was another operation, Operation Woodrose, was commenced straight away, going through the 5,000 villages in the 50 cities of Punjab. And the Joint Intelligence Committee reported at the time that 100,000 Sikh youth, mainly men between the ages of 15 and 35, disappeared within the first 4 to 6 weeks of that operation.
I mean, the Indian government now has accepted that this was a genocide. At the time, what was their justification? What was their arguments for such a crime?
I think Indira Gandhi, who was the Prime Minister at the time, called this the last resort. But what we learned last year was even the British government were aware, because Margaret Thatcher sent an SAS officer to advise how to attack the Golden Temple. And I think there were people in this country that probably weren't even born in 1984, or were very young. I was born here, and we were horrified last year. How could the British government, that got a huge, long Anglo-Sikh history, even contemplate advising on an attack? And I think what that's led to is a sense of we need to know the truth. And it's very good that we have a new Indian government now, and the Home Minister has made those comments. But he also went on to say, you can only get justice if the perpetrators of those crimes are brought to account.
And David Cameron has said he wants an investigation into the situations involving that SAS member. Well, when it comes to yesterday, what was that like? I know these events should never be forgotten, but was there a sense of closure to some extent for some people, given the fact that it has now been recognised as a genocide?
Not really, because I think it's a time to remember those people that were killed 31 years ago. But also in the last few days, we've had a young Sikh who was in Amritsar from Derby, who's been arrested on the 6th of June, because things are still happening in India. In the state of Jammu, a 23-year-old was shot dead by a police officer. This was a young man that actually went out to get some medicine for his family, and had just lost his uncle and his cousin in the Nepal earthquake. And these things are now being broadcast into people's homes, and that's why we got a much higher turnout yesterday. So people are seeing, there was a media blackout in Jammu and Kashmir, and people just record those events of 31 years ago. So what we were doing yesterday was not only remembering, that's very important, but also saying we do still hold the truth. And for a minister to just call it genocide isn't enough. And we called upon the Prime Minister here to, one, have an independent public inquiry as to what happened in terms of the UK government. And secondly, for the UK to actually call for a UN-led inquiry into actually what took place in India 31 years ago.
Dabinderjit Singh from the Sikh Federation, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
We're going to take a